What's up, everyone? Adrian Morrison here, and I want to welcome you to the Profit Power Hour. I'm excited to have you here, and I've got a cool training that I want to show you tonight. Just being up front. I'm not in my office. I'm in my place in Miami, so dogs might kind of go crazy. You never know. There might be some noises that happen, so just beware. I'm working on getting a spot down here to work. I bought a 3-bedroom place thinking, hey, I'll have a bedroom, my son Drake will have a bedroom, and I will have an office. And what happened is my office became Drake's playroom, which was really great. So I have no office. I'm coming to you. I'll just share my camera. I probably won't keep it on the whole time. What's up? What's up? I'm coming to you from the living room, so if you can kind of see, I have very sparse furniture, but yeah. So look, I want to talk to you tonight about some strategies with different niches that could be beneficial to you. Since we talk about products a lot, I want to talk about stacking with complementary products. So I have 2 examples. I've shown them before back in the day, but I think they're very relevant now. One of them is just always relevant. The other one I think is a bit more seasonal, though it is semi-evergreen. And if you do hear any barking, then it is most likely this dude right there. Okay. His name is Dasher, and he likes to bark at any little noise that he hears, especially when I live stream or I film. So if you're new here, welcome. Usually I'm in my office, but again, I'm at my place in Miami. I haven't got it fully furnished. I don't have an office here because I gave it to my son, as I said. But the show must go on. We must continue to do these no matter where I am or what my circumstances are, unless I'm sick. But here's the thing. They're free. We do these every week, and you should be showing up to these. Sometimes they're 20 minutes, sometimes they're 30 minutes, sometimes they're 45 minutes. I generally say block out 30 minutes or so. These are a great way for you to kind of get to know me more, to stay motivated, avoid spending a bunch of money on courses and stuff that you might not necessarily need, although there are some great courses out there. You just don't need to go buy a bunch of courses and spend all your money on information, most of which you could get free nowadays, and then have no money to actually run your business. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into what I want to talk to you about tonight. But before I do that, the welcome screen is up. If you don't have a free store yet, you can go to profitph.com/free store, and our store builder will build you our AI store builder will build you a really nice store. And there are options there. You could do like a premium store, which gives you a premium theme. That costs money. It's not our theme. We don't own it. We got a discount on it for you. It's just, we're not affiliates of the theme. We pre-purchased a bunch of licenses and discounted the price so we could sell them to you. So it's more in your benefit than ours. But if you have a better theme on your store, we feel like your store is probably, going to do better. You're going to be more serious, and you're going to keep your store, and you're going to use it, right? Because you got a little bit of skin in the game there. Kind of, we do see some separation here and there from people that install apps or themes or whatever. They tend to be a higher percentage of go-getters. People are just doing the free stuff, which is fine. Tend to be, tinkers, getting they're dipping their toes in the water, if you will. And then there are some people that, it's just not feasible to do a premium theme and all these other things. and they want to get at it with what they can, and that's totally respectable. So, and that's what you should do. Just get started one way or the other. And below are our vendors. So we got Zen Drop, Shine On, and CJ Dropshipping. Those are the ones that we recommend. Now, what I want to talk to you about is, I've always talked about finding a flagship product and then having variations, right? Variations of that product, or variations of the product, so people could buy multiples potentially, or and having items that you can cross sell. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to just dive right into this and talk to you about a specific niche. Okay, so one of the niches that I crushed in, still does very, very well, people still buy these, is the biker niche. And you can see here I have it typed out, these skull masks. Now, if I were to jump over here to Zen Drop and just type in, let's go to find products, skull mask, you know, better known as like baklavas, I believe is how it's pronounced. There's all sorts of them, right? Some of these are, you know, really expensive. Some of them are cheap. And the one that I really did well with was similar to this one right here, except it did not have the gloves. All right, so the gloves didn't come with it, which is pretty cool. And what I love about this is that it's only $5.55 out the door, and it's shipping time's 8 days. So it arrives very quick. Like, I've actually been ordering stuff from Amazon for this new place, and some of it does take a full week to come in from Amazon, right? 8 days isn't bad right now. And I know some of you are like, okay, well, that looks kind of creepy. I don't want to sell a skull mask, and you know, that's fine. Look, you don't have to. You can do whatever it is you want to do. But I have sold an immense amount of these, and people still buy these. And I think that it's a great product, especially given Halloween is coming up. But it's not necessarily a Halloween product. It just could do well during Halloween. This is a product that we sold to the biker community. And, you know, back in the day, when I really first started ramping products up like this, I was hitting like Harley Davidson and, you know, like motor people riding like the choppers and the crotch rockets. But now you got this whole group of people that are riding like these little electric bikes that kind of look like dirt bikes. They're kind of rugged, but they, you know, they're electric and they're small. It's very interesting. I see them riding around here in Miami all the time, and they're wearing baklavas and stuff like that. So this is a product that is not a Halloween product. This is something that you want to advertise to people that are in the motorcycle groups. And it's a massive amount of people that are riding. Think about all the people that ride motorcycles, from the, you know, choppers and Harley Davidsons to the like Kawasaki and whatever, crotch rockets, Hayabusas and whatever. It's a large group. It's a large group of people, and they have to wear something to protect their face, because if your mouth is fully exposed and you're flying, like, you know, flying down the highway or whatever, you're going to get bugs in your mouth and all sorts of stuff. So they typically wear something to kind of cover their face a little bit. And you know, in every state, you don't have to wear a helmet, right? In Florida, helmets are not required by law. So there's people riding around with no helmets on, which I think is crazy. You know, my little cousin, he was wearing a helmet, but he passed away, you know, 2017-ish, from a motorcycle accident. He was riding a motorcycle and car came out, hit him, as an older guy that just, you know, was elderly and didn't have the cognitive to react fast, and it was an accident, but it took his life. And you know, it's very, very sad. So you know, I guess I'm getting off the subject. It just, and I think about motorcycles, that always pops into my head. He was like my little brother. It still hurts. But helmets aren't required in every state, and a lot of people wear these, you know, with and without helmets. They might have a half helmet on. If they're wearing a full helmet, probably not, but the half helmets, yeah. So it could work for Halloween. Also could work in the tactical field, like the veterans, the tactical gear, the preppers would be buying things like this. So I really targeted bikers and biker clubs. So on Facebook, there's all sorts of keywords and interests you could hit for the biker community. And I sold it for $10.97. You know, it's $5 out the door. So I had a very, very like tight margin, but it was profitable, right? And the thing about this is, typically we would see people buy more than one, right? There would be variations. You can get it in pink and green and blue, different colors, and someone might buy like 6 of these for their whole squad, or they might have a partner that they ride with all the time and buy it for their partner or their spouse or whatever. So you might see that your potential average order value goes up from $11 to $21.94, right? And so, you know, coming back over to this right here, if it's $5 out the door, basically it's $5.55 out the door. So 2 of them, that's $7, and your potential, you know, net off of this before ad costs is $20. I'm sorry, is like $11, 10 or $11. That's not so bad, right? It's not a bad margin, but still, like $10 is good. You got to do volume if you want to make money. And I mean, I was doing volume with this. I was selling a lot of these when we were scaling it very hard. But the key is cross-selling and upselling products, right? Having those complementary products that when someone starts the buying process, you offer them things that they can't say no to, that you pair things with. If you go to Amazon, and Amazon is really, really good about this, except Amazon doesn't really cross-sell, you know, your own items for you. They cross-sell your competitors' items, but let's just look at, I don't know, let's biker mask. All right, so this biker mask right here, $10. So, you know, same price on Amazon basically, except this one has like stuff on it that not everybody might want written on it. But when you come down here, they're like, oh, people also bought this. Oh, people also like the goggles and the boots. This is cross-selling right here, right? And this is how Amazon makes a lot of money is they have the main product that they're advertising or someone's advertising, but then they're like, oh, by the way, would you like a second variation? Oh, by the way, do you want some goggles? Do you want some boots? Do you want some whatever it may be? And this is how e-commerce works. And so coming back over here, you don't just want that potential average order value of $21 selling this item. You want to have some cross-sell items. Now, cross-sell items complement the items that the customer is currently purchasing, thus increasing the potential order value. So instead of $20, maybe they spend 30 or 40. Now we're talking, right? Now you don't got to do as much volume in order to make as much money, right? Less customers can equal more money, opposed to more customers being necessary for more money. Some of the things that we had looked at is biker gloves, right? And we're looking for things that kind of solve problems. So gloves are a safety, touch screen gloves, so biker gloves that have the touch things on them. So if you're on your phone and your you know, regular gloves don't work, these have kind of touch pads, they're comfortable and they look cool. So this ZenDrop product coincidentally had, I don't know if the gloves, yeah, the gloves do come with it, which is cool, but I would rather upsell the gloves than give them along with it. So for you, you could upsell not just these gloves, but all sorts of biker gloves. So if I come over here, back to products, biker gloves. You'll see like these these gloves right here, and these here. There's all sorts of different kinds. Now Zendrop is being funky and is pulling up just any and all type of gloves, right? But generally, the type of gloves that sell are really tactical, like these cycling gloves right here that have like the padding and protect your knuckles and all that stuff in the event that you fall off your bike or whatever. These are $11 out the door. I'm sorry, they're not $11 out the door. My live stream control panel, y'all can't see it, but it covers it, $18. So you might could sell these for like $35 because they're leather or whatever. But there's all sorts of different kinds. Like you really just need to shop around. And another really great way, it's a little thing that I do, is on AliExpress. I'll just type in motorcycle gloves, then I'll go to organize by orders, and I'll see that these gloves right here have sold over 10,000 units, right? 10,000 units, 10,000 units. So AliExpress quickly will tell me like which types of biker gloves were crushing it. Like these are pretty cool right here. These are pretty sick. You're doing black and pink, kind of they don't go all the way over the top of the wrist. So if you're wearing a watch or something, your watch can still fit. So a very, very popular product here. And so we could go find similar gloves on Zendrop, or we could just sell them for AliExpress, but Zendrop will actually import items from AliExpress for you too. So if you have like a pro account, I believe. Point is now we got some gloves. These are $22 out the door. We know that they're crushing it, like they're big sellers. We could probably pop these off for like $40, $45, do a little bit of research. Now we're increasing our average order value, right? So when somebody buys the skull mask, right, we say, hey, do you want to go ahead and get some gloves too? We have some really nice deals on biker gloves, these leather ones or these whatever breathable ones, so on and so forth. And there were other things. Anyways, we were finding these for much cheaper. In this example here, we were finding a much cheaper non-leather pair. They were like canvas, and we were going to sell them for $19. Which, if they bought the masks and bought 2 masks at $21 and bought the gloves, then we'd be getting a $41 order. Or if we were selling the leather gloves, we'd be getting like a $60 order, right? So now we're creating higher quality customers, we're getting them to buy additional products, and we're increasing what's called the average order value. But here's the thing, is you could probably upsell them sometimes more than one product. So one of the things we were looking at is just very simple, like super cheap, which was bike chain cleaner. And if I were to come over here and just go to like, bike chain motorcycle, there's all of these different types of things here that you could buy to keep like everything, I guess, clean and lubed up on the motorcycle. I don't know much about motorcycles. I kind of thought it was interesting that I got a suggestion for like motorcycle chain cleaners. I thought maybe that would be more so like a bicycle or whatever, but we can also just say motorcycle accessories. And we could find anything. Like we could find helmets, we could find LED lights, we could find cool like decals that they could put on there. There's just all sorts of different things for the motorcycle niche that you could tap into. I mean, there's just all sorts of decals and gloves and helmets and LED lights and cleaners and things that can attach to the bike to hold things and bike covers. But ideally for upsell number 2, you find something really cheap. It's kind of a no-brainer. Oh, sure, yeah, I'll add it in. Like these little LED strips that are super cheap. Hey, for $10, get some LED strips and, light your bike up like crazy, right? And so this would be a good example of a really cheap upsell that you could partake in, right? So, you know, with that, let's say these are 99 cents plus shipping. Let's call it $5 shipping, $6. We sell them for 10 bucks, a packet of them for $10. So we're making another $5, $6 profit there. Again, you know, now here we are at a $50 to $56 to potentially $65 order from selling one simple little $10 mask. And that is the power of using cross sales. So it's just about finding things that make sense. So, you know, we know the skull mask is a product that is easy to sell. It looks cool, it's cheap. There's a large community that would be interested in it. And it's a good trigger. It's a good impulse click, impulse purchase item because it is cheap. But once we get them in after that impulsive click, as they start to purchase because it's such a good deal, that's when we start cross-selling the items. That's when we start saying, hey, how about some gloves? How about some bike chain cleaner? How about some LED lights? How about these decals? How about da 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 da? And you just start kind of testing different products on the store. You can have a whole biker accessories section, but you want them kind of listed on your sales page as other people bought this. Other people viewed similar items like this. And so while they're shopping, they're, oh, this looks cool. Oh, this looks cool. Oh, this makes sense. And not everybody's going to buy it, right? But a lot of people will. A lot of people will say yes to the first one and no to the second. And some people will say yes to the first one and the second one, and maybe buy two things of LED lights to have a backup set, 2 sets of biker gloves because they're buying a pair for their partner, right? So a little $10 mask could lead to a $50 to $100 order, right? So when we're talking about selling these little cheap items, I don't want you to think, oh, I'm only selling $10 items. The item that you're advertising that's cheap, be it a free plus shipping item or a $5 flash sale item or just a $10 cheapo item, these are only designed to be bright, shiny objects that get customers' attention to make them click and impulsively purchase. The real marketing the real e-commerce comes in when they get on your store. How your store is optimized, your sales copy, your cross sales, your upsells. These are the things that take that little $10 customer and explode them to $50 to $100 spenders, right? And then you're going to have the $10 customers, but you want to get as many of them to spend $20, $30, $50, $100. So that is why I always have preached on cross sales and upsells, all right? So that's one example. Real quick, the other thing that I wanted to talk about is the difference between evergreen products and trend surfing products, okay? Evergreen products, they're unlimited, they never die out. Like the motorcycle community isn't gonna die out, right? People are always gonna be new riders, they're always gonna be replacing gear. It is a everyday thing. People ride their bikes. Trend surfing is riding a big wave for a limited period of time when a product just unexpectedly picks up. And those do fizzle fast, but they're great waves. And then of course with trend surfing, you can season surf as well, which I don't have written down here, but different seasons, different products will become super viral. So like coming into fall and winter, people start getting sick, right? People start, you know, getting the flu and all sorts of things. Kids are back in school, they're going to birthday parties, everybody's getting sick. So during this season, one of the things that I like to really touch on is this really cheap, but it's this, aha, that's great, gotta have it, impulse purchase item, is the sanitizer bracelet, right? On Facebook, you can target people who are parents with kids that are in school, obviously, at the age group that's in school. And the parents can wear them, and they can have their kids wear these hand cleansing bracelets. I'll show them to you in a second. You also can advertise this to people of certain professions like nurses, doctors, teachers, professors, flight attendants and pilots who are traveling through airports, people who have a history of traveling, very often commuters and frequent flyers, right? So these are people that would, wear this bracelet. And it's funny because everybody always laughs at me because I always have hand sanitizer with me, like everywhere I go. And or my wife does, and when we're at dinner, I like put my hands out in case he pulls it out of her purse. I don't even do sanitizer anymore. I just got straight up pure alcohol. You know what I'm saying? I spray it on the hands, and I try to stay super, super healthy so I could be here for these webinars, just enjoy life. But anyways, it's no one wants to get sick. So if I come over here, I'm just going to do an ollie. Sanitizer bracelet. And there's going to be all sorts of different options here that come up. Not all of these are going to be sanitizer bracelets, by the way, but if you look at these right here, okay, these are these simple little bracelets, and there's all sorts of, there's nicer options than just this right here, but these are, and this one, I don't know if I trust the seller, they have 0 sold, so, but you could find better sellers. Ideally, you just get these on Zendrop, but they just, if you're traveling for the day, boom, pop this bad boy on, and throughout the day, you got a bracelet on, you can pop off some sanitizer on your hand, keep your hands clean. And here's the thing about that, and these are things you can put in your ad, is, oh, I got sanitizer in my purse, oh, it's in my bag. Well, if you're traveling and your bag is in the overhead bin, and you touch the tray or the TV, or you go to the bathroom, now you got to get your bag out to go get your sanitizer, or go through your purse, wherever it is, from under the seat. And so a lot of people, it's out of sight, out of mind, right? But when you have a bracelet on, be it ugly or nice looking, when you touch stuff, you'll, all right, I'm staying clean, you know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to get sick. So there are people that are germaphobes like me that absolutely would love this product. So that being said, there are different options. There are some that are much nicer looking, and there's some different keywords I could use to look these up, but it's a cool, like, seasonal trending product that you could probably, do well with, given the type of season that it currently is, right? So a very, very cool little just tip. And these are kind of the people that I would target for it, because this is a trend. It's a seasonal trend typically. Like, these aren't going to be crushing it during summer, most likely. It's going to be the months where everybody's sick, especially, when there was a pandemic, like, things like this just flew off the shelves. But just, bear in mind, these teeny tiny little products like this, now you get people in that have kids, you have tons of stuff you can sell. People that are nurses, the nursing community is huge, tons of stuff you could sell them, teachers and professors and flight attendants and pilots and travelers. There's so many things once you get them in with this little trending product that you can start selling them with cross sells, right? So I hope that I feel like I just gave you a lot of info, especially if you're new, but I hope this was helpful. If you are new, we don't usually do stuff like this. We're usually just doing product research, and I'm showing you different products, and we're analyzing trends and whatnot. But right now, I thought this would be really cool to show you as two products that are relevant right now. One is the biker mask because of Halloween, but it could extend, if you start crushing it with it, it could extend throughout the year as an evergreen product to the biker community. The other one being trending as we're going into school season and fall and winter, people get sick, sanitizer bracelets or sanitizer clip-ons. It's not even just a bracelet, there's little keychains and all sorts of stuff that you could sell to the germaphobe community. All right. That's it. I'll see you next week, same place, same time, right here on the Profit Power Hour. I wish you all a ton of success, and I hope you crush it with some of these products. See you all next week.